This is the next bridge on the Deele, on the wee back road into Convoy. It's one of two bridges in the town, the other one being at the start of the broad road on the main road to Stranraer and Ballybofey. This is a really lovely stretch of the river, with tree-lined bankings full of singing birds and lots of wee secluded pools for fishing. I always thought the people around here were terrible lucky to have such a lovely stretch of the river in their doorstep. For if I had grown up around here, I would never have left this place. And the flies are keeping the trout busy. This is the old woolen mill on the banks of the Deele, just a stone's throw from that wee bridge. In times gone past, wool was a prized commodity, unlike today where it's virtually worthless thanks to competition from various other man-made fabrics. The mill was built in 1883 but went into decline after World War II and finally closed its doors in the 1980s. It has since been reopened as an enterprise centre, providing resources for the local community. There even used to be a wee recording studio in here and a practice space for bands that myself and my heavy metal pals used to use regularly for a while. Do you want to hear some of the music we used to come up with in there? Of course you do! That's lovely Donegal music. This is the National Townland Historical Map Viewer, and it shows maps from the early 1800s, and I was using this to find old mills on the river. There's a little sidebar you can click on with all these different options, and it shows you where all these historical things were. I'll just pull it up here. You've got historical foundries, historical gasworks. They're historical mills from the 1830s, and you click on that and it shows all the old mills from the 1830s, and it shows them as wee green dots. They're very hard to see, but they are there. And there's one in Ballindrate. There used to be a mill just above the Ballindrate Bridge, but since no trace of it remains, I never bothered mentioning it. I'd have just been standing in a field going, oh, there used to be a mill here a billion years ago. But I found mills out in the middle of nowhere here, for example, where they're not next nor near a river. So there was mills everywhere, and they didn't have to be on a river. They had things called horse-drawn mills, and you basically tied a horse to the big mill wheel, and you spent all day going round and around the circle, grinding the corn or whatever. So there you are, look at that, there's mills everywhere, like they were all over the place. So there you are. This castle-like structure is the entrance to Convoy House, or Boynton's as it used to be known. It's one of them old manor plantation houses, so you would know just by looking at it. Poor old Paddy usually didn't have a castle at the entrance to his house. There's some really old names and dates scraped into the rocks here just at the entrance. I think that date there says 1828, but I can't be sure. When I was a wee buck, I used to have friends in Convoy, and we used to muck about up here in the ruins of the old building. It's since, however, been fully restored by a Dublin man, Jerry Maguire, who asked me not to film the house because someone's going to make a documentary about it, as in an actual documentary, with professionally trained people who know what they're doing, not just some local lunatic wandering around the fields and ditches spouting gibberish into a camera. So instead I'll show you some of these pictures that I found online. I'm sure Jerry won't mind. I hope. But Jerry did let me go down and film the weir on the river just below his house, so fair play to him, and a very nice man he is too. We had a big long chat, and hopefully soon he'll have the house ready for visitors to come along and see all the old things and hear about all the history of the place. It'll be a very interesting place to come and see when he has it all up and running, and I'll certainly be back for a look. Well, that's if he's still speaking to me after watching this. It's been a long, long time since I was here. I think there's a salmon weir over here. Well, at least there used to be. It's the last time I was here. Oh, there it is. Wow. That thing in the middle, they're salmon boxes to let the salmon up for spawning. So it gives you an idea that at one time there must have been a lot of salmon in this river. So that is the salmon weir in Convoy. And that's the salmon boxes there. And the high water they'd fill up and the salmon can get up to the next level. I think we were able to walk across that weir in wellies. I can't remember. There's a wee bit of local graffiti. So that's the salmon weir. As I was saying earlier, when we were kids, this stretch of the river at Convoy had an almost mythological status. It was always said to be really good, and it was always great for rainbow trout, which were like a speciality, a delicacy for us. But
We never came up here to fish very much for a couple of reasons, because it was just too far to cycle, and back then our world was very small, and apart from going to school we rarely travelled more than 3 or 4 miles outside the village, and so cycling to Convoy was a big trek for us back then. So we didn't really come up here very much. But there was another reason as well, is because you might have got a kicking for coming up here back in those times. You see, if the Convoy boys found Ballinrit boys fishing in their river, they mightn't have been too impressed. Not because we were from Ballinrit, but because we weren't from Convoy. You see, that's the thing. But by the same token, if we'd have seen young fellas from Convoy fishing at our river in Ballinrit, well, same rules apply.
Aye, that's just the way it was. We were very territorial back then. Don't ask me why. This is the next bridge on the Deele, Glassley Bridge, just on the outskirts of the town at the start of the broad road heading towards Stranraer and Ballabafay. Its name is actually on the map, so I think I'm safe enough with this one. From here it's a lovely walk up the river all the way to the main road at Drumkeen.
I'm just watching this wee stretch of river here. I can see clearly. I can see some nice sized trout darting about. And even after all these years, when I see that distinctive telltale torpedo shape darting through the water, it still gives me a thrill after all these years, like a childhood thrill. Can't explain it. Must be a fisherman thing. Maybe I'm just hungry. That is some lump of an ash tree there. You can tell it's a really old ash tree because the bark's all fissured like that there. And a young ash tree, the bark's pure smooth. But I mean, look at the size of it, like. I'm very late putting out the leaves in this one. Maybe because it's old, it's tired. Lovely trees. There's a lamb in distress down here. What kind of a mess has it got itself into? Down in the river and can't get out. Something like that. Alright, told you. Where are you fucking donut? Come here. Must have fucking fell in there. But you fucking lucky Highland Paddy came along. Well, this will be your last fucking night on this earth. Might still be. I know, it's terrible. Fucking terrible. Right. Where the fuck are you? Nah. Nah. Oh, I can see where he went down. I don't want to get wet. I don't mind you getting wet, lamb, but I don't want to get fucking wet. Come on. Come on. Come on. Here. Here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Easy. Fuck you. I'm here to help. Get out there, you bastard. Get on up there. There you go. Who the fuck's gonna get me out? Well, that's my good deed for the day. I just have to stop and show you this tree. This is a silver birch and it is absolutely massive. That is potentially the biggest silver birch I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they are not a big tree. They only live about 100 years. You see them in gardens like as wee decorative trees, but that's massive. It's absolutely huge. I can't believe it. I mean, usually the trunk on a birch tree, a big birch tree would be would be smaller than that, and that's just a branch. That's crazy. There you are. Hello, old horse. Hello, old horse. You coming over? Hey? You coming over? Where's your pals? Are they coming too? So we all want to be in the video. I understand. Hello. Hello, old buck. Hello, boy. What's the crack with you, huh? You're a friendly old boy. Aye. They're quite friendly horses. Well, horse, I would love to stay all day here, but I have a place to go.
This is the next bridge on the Deele, on the main road at Drumkeen. And how'd you like that for a fancy Hollywood walk? That there's how you walk away from an explosion. Or a drug deal gone wrong.
This is the old bridge now that I'm just approaching. On the old road. There's a river on there somewhere. Man, she is overgrown. And that there is the new bridge on the new road. But we'll have to go down and have a look. The old and the new, side by side. I think I prefer the old one. You knew I was going to say that, I don't know. I'd say there's some bats up there.
Right folks, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed that. But we've got one more video to go. So the next one's going to bring us all the way to the start of the river. So be sure and tune in for that. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Press the big red subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, but it'll help me out. And I might have discovered something quite interesting for the last video. I'm keeping it under wraps until the last minute, but I think I have made quite an interesting discovery, and so I'm going to reveal it all in the last video, so I'm looking forward to that. So tune in, thanks for watching, good luck to you, and I'll see you the next time.